things have been heating up in the Isaiah Mozee recruitment to Nebraska. So in today's video, I'm going to give you an update around how his visit went in Lincoln, some crystal balls that have been rolling in, and then when can we expect a flip from Oregon to the Huskers. So really quick before we dive into it, if you're fired up about potentially adding a 4-star wide receiver to this class, hit that like button. And hey, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I post a video talking about Nebraska football, Nebraska recruiting every single day, and it's all gas, no brakes. We're doing this all year long, so please hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss anything. But without further ado, let's get into it, talking about Isaiah Mozee, specifically his visit to Lincoln this weekend and what went on, talking with Rhule, talking with the coaching staff. So he recently was interviewed by On3, and there were some big things that he said in that interview. Number one, he emphasized the family environment at Nebraska, that it was basically like home away from home, that Nebraska hiring his dad just added fuel to the fire with the coaching staff, how much he likes building those connections, and that it really felt like this is a place that he can go thrive for the foreseeable future. Of course, he has a very tight-knit connection with his dad. He cares a lot about those family connection and that family vibe. So again, definitely feels like a place where he knows he can thrive as a college athlete. The second big thing that he mentioned in that interview was the fact that he's been to Lincoln 8 times now, and because of that, he has a very strong connection with the coaching staff, with Garrett McGuire, with Rhule. He said he doesn't have that really anywhere else, not even Oregon, that he really trusts the coaching staff, that he feels like they have his best interest at heart. For that reason, it's going to make this decision a little bit easier when he decides to potentially flip away from Oregon to Nebraska. Number 3, this is something I've talked about a little bit in the past, was that Dylan Raiola factor. We know that his dad thinks very highly of Dylan Raiola, that he believes that Dylan's one of the best quarterbacks he's ever seen at 18 years old. And he wants to pair his son with Dylan. So Isaiah Mozee said in that interview how important it was to play with Dylan, to talk with him, to once again build that friendship with him. And I think Dylan, we know how good of a peer recruiter he is. That's only going to pay dividends when he decides to flip. The last thing that Isaiah Mozee mentioned was in regards to his Oregon commitment. He still said he was an Oregon Ducks committee. He still reaffirmed that, but he said he was going to sit down with his family later this week and really make a decision if he wants to stay with Oregon or go to the Huskers. So yeah, that was really the 4 things that he said in that interview that really stood out to me. Of course, we saw the crystal ball start rolling in yesterday from On3, Sean Callahan, Brian Munson, among a couple other guys. Mike Schaefer put in a crystal ball. So things are looking like the Huskers will land Isaiah Mozee very, very soon. I expect a flip even today, tomorrow, anytime really, because it looks like things are happening very quick, and he's wanting to get his spot in this class very, very soon. So he had a very good visit by all accounts, and yeah, I expect something to happen there very quickly, of course. And just the fact that Nebraska hired his dad, he was already interested in the Huskers before this happened, but it was that interest was here. Now that we hired his dad, bang, it's up to the roof. It's going to be really hard for him to say no, and for that reason, he's not going to say no. He's going to become a Husker. Oregon fans are expecting a decommitment. They've had a tough couple weeks. Nebraska fans, you're adding a big one right here. And then if you can add a guy like Isaiah Mozee, just adds fuel to the fire to potentially get a guy like Michael Terry and David Sanders. Real quick update around David Sanders. His visit went really well. He was only here for basically a day. He had to go up to Knoxville. But yeah, I mean, the fans showed out for him. They did not show up for him at Tennessee at all. And hopefully he really reconsiders and thinks about the Huskers. I still like the odds, but he has a lot of connections to Tennessee and that university. Michael Terry is not getting on campus until tomorrow. I just wanted to note that he's basically going to be alone there. So hopefully Nebraska can give him that last and final pitch. All right, that's my update around Isaiah Mozee. As you can see, I'm outside the office. A little bit of a lake view here. First person to guess what state I'm in wins in the comment section below, so make sure to comment. And hey, if you enjoyed this update about Isaiah Mozee and you made this far in the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, folks, go Big Red, go Rhule, and see you in the next one.